Hey everyone, my name is Shadospartan, and welcome to my Retrospective series. We are going to take a look at a game I used to play when I was younger, and replayed recently on Steam, Thief, The Dark Project, released in '98, created by Looking Glass Studios, and published by Eidos Interactive. This first-person stealth game still holds up pretty well with today's video games. It has an enjoyable story, gameplay that really makes you feel like a thief, has some funny dialogue.
Then Lady Valeria sings, I, Lady Valerius, have obtained the opera house, yes. Right from under your nose, you must kiss the ground underneath my toes.
And depending on how you play, will offer you a different experience. I'll explain later what I mean about that. Now this video is going to go in depth with every mission. We will talk about the story, so spoiler warning, the layout of each map, what I liked and disliked about it, and any funny or awkward moments that happened during my playthrough. So if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend you go buy this game on Steam for $7. Let's get into it. First thing I need to address is the version I'm playing. The game originally released as Thief, The Dark Project, but a year later it got re-released as Thief Gold. This added 3 brand new missions and made some changes to the current ones. The next thing is starting up the game. On your screen it will look fine, but recording will look like this. Luckily on Steam in the Community Hub, there is a link to download, T-Fix, which will scale the resolution to modern resolutions, patches up the game, and even smooths out the textures of NPCs, doors, and items. Another big thing is it fixes cutscenes. Yep, for some reason the cutscenes before every mission don't work, so you have to exit the game and go onto YouTube to watch the briefings. Thankfully, I never had the game crash, and only ran into one annoying bug that happened at the end of the last mission. But we'll get to that.
Blue brings ye forth, world anew.
Starting off with the tutorial, we are introduced to Garrett, an orphan surviving on the streets, until one day he tried pickpocketing a hooded man, but was caught. The man was impressed with Garrett's talent, and offered him to join the Keepers, a secret society that tries to keep order in the world from the shadows, sort of like the Illuminati. Garrett tells the man to leave him alone, but follows him and ends up at the Keepers' facility to begin training. This is where the player gets to understand the basics of the game. The main things you get to learn is how important light and dark is.
Stay in the shadows. Avoid the light. The indicator on your screen will tell you how visible you are. Try to reach the top of the platform without being seen.
Well done. I did not see you approach.
As well as how quiet and loud you are.
Some surfaces are louder than others when walked upon, and moving quickly makes more noise than moving slowly.
I could hear that.
Try again.
Very good. I did not hear you traverse the room.
Then you get to practice with your bow and arrows on targets. Then spar against an NPC.
Attack him with your sword, not your bow.
Then pick up items, such as food and health potions for healing, and this key to unlock the door to the next room. Here you learn about climbing ropes, jumping gaps, and climbing ledges. Later on there's different kinds of arrows and items for you to use during missions. I will mention these when we get there. Also there's an Easter egg. All you have to do is play on Expert, grab this key, and then go.
Keep sparring if you wish. When you are done, leave the sparring area. That's enough sparring for today. Please walk over to the table. Would you care for some refreshment before we move on, young Garrett?
So after spending time with the Keepers, Garrett left them and became a master thief. For the first mission, Garrett is hired by a guy named Cuddy, who wants Garrett to steal a scepter from a nobleman, Lord Bafford. After the briefing, you'll get a list of objectives. Depending on what difficulty, these will change. There's normal, hard, and expert. Normal is usually the main objective. On hard, it will usually say you can't kill innocent people, need to steal a certain amount of stuff scattered throughout the map, and you have to get back out of the mission to end. On Expert, you usually can't kill anyone, and you have to steal almost everything on the map. Harder difficulties sometimes unlock new areas, as well as adding more enemies. Then you go to the store screen where you can buy more items to take with you on the mission. The amount of cash you have is dependent on how much stuff you stole from the previous mission, so it's a good idea to steal as much as you can to help you on the next mission.
It's a few too many to try to get by here.
Going to the bear pits tomorrow.
I like this first mission. You have the option of trying to take on 3 guards at the front gate, or go around through the city streets and arrive at this drunk guard and go through the sewers to get in.
Hey there!
Could you possibly
friend.
be any more?
What's with the crazy getup?
It's a good first mission that does make me feel like a thief sneaking into a property, avoiding guards, and looking for stuff to steal while I look for my main objective. You do have a map that kinda helps you know where you are in a general area. I rarely used the map and just explored. Once I got used to the general area, it was pretty clear where I needed to go. But I really hated this creepy sound effect. I was wearing headphones and every time it creeped me out like I was playing Amnesia, and that sound was a cue for the monster had just spawned. Not that it's a bad thing, it did make me feel immersed with the ambient sounds. I had to listen carefully to footsteps and figuring out if they're coming towards me or away. Now I have to decide, am I going to remain hidden, let whoever walk by, or knock them out and move the body and hope nobody discovers him later.
What was that?
Overall, a great first start to this game.
Here we go.
Garrett tried delivering the scepter, but Cuddy was arrested by the Hammerites, so Garrett is going to try and break Cuddy out of the prison. However, the front entrance is too well guarded, so Garrett is going to have to go down into the mines, up through the factory, and into the prison. However, when you find Cuddy, he's dying and not going to make it.
All right, old man. Let's get you out of here and me my money.
Afraid you're gonna be disappointed.
Good thing you're dying, Cuddy. I'd have to kill you for stiffing me.
So Cuddy tells Garrett about the Horn of Quintus. Garrett then goes up to the officers' quarters to get Cuddy's notes on where to find this horn.
Cuddy won't be needing this anymore.
Here you get introduced to the moss arrow. Just shoot it on the ground somewhere and it will spread moss around so your footsteps are silent. You also get the speed potion, which makes you run fast. I should also mention in this game, if you jump a lot and time your jumps, you can gain a lot of momentum. That's why you're going to see me jumping a lot. This mission starts off pretty cool by once again sneaking into somewhere you shouldn't be like any other thief. However, these mines are haunted, and you run into zombies walking around the mines. Luckily, they're the slow walking type, and you can hear them coming from a mile away. Only way to kill them is with explosives or holy water, but it's honestly not worth using on them, because you can smack them with your sword and they go down for a nap. Or just run by them, because again, they walk, so it's easy to outrun them. Now once you get into the factory, that's when you run into the Hammerites, or as I used to call them, Hammeroids. Anyway, quick lore on them, they are a technocratic religious group worshipping someone known as the Master Builder, who cultivated human civilization from savagery. They wield giant hammers and speak archaic.
One would think these scum had never faced tribulation in their lives.
For a time I thought Block 4 might never sleep again for his coughs. But he quiets now.
Good. Death or durance 'twill be the same for him in the end.
The mines and factory are pretty easy to sneak through, except this guy somehow heard me.
Who said that?
Then I got stuck in the doorway,
Thou shalt regret thine
and then we had a duel. The prison feels like it doesn't follow the 8th Amendment of the Constitution. Finally, you get up to the barracks and find valuable stuff to steal.
This must be how they spend all those tithes.
Just make sure you don't make a wrong turn.
I see.
This is where different ways of playing come in. Are you that kind of player who uses quick saves to be perfect? Or do you play realistic and if you screw up, it's permanent? Here I ran into a dead end and thought there was no way past this guard, so I used the quick save to try again. Later on, I tried not using it and just kept playing and would either fight or run from guards. That's when I discovered how much more fun and intense this game can be. Overall, this is a good mission that shows the player there's still so much more to come if you keep playing. Garrett was upset about Cuddy, but turned to another associate, Felix, about going after this horn Cuddy talked about. Felix gave him what information he could about where it's located. Also that the catacombs are haunted. Who would have thought? In this mission you get introduced to rope arrows. Shoot this at a wooden surface to create a rope. Next you get noisemaker arrows, which make noises for enemies to get distracted. Finally you can carry around holy water. It makes your water arrows for 30 seconds deal damage to undead enemies. This map is pretty cool. You feel like Indiana Jones or Lara Croft exploring a giant tomb. Watch out for traps. And as expected, there's undead, but like I said, they're easy to outrun. However, the issue with this map, it's easy to get lost and run around in circles, sometimes even backtracking and not realizing it. They do add this new enemy. It's supposed to be a giant lizard, and they spray a poisonous gas at you. But once again, you can just run past them or smack them with your sword. Thankfully, once you reach the catacombs, there's this constant sound that helps guide you to the horn, because it gets louder the closer you get.
Good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
I did have a couple of moments like these. So be careful when trying to climb onto ropes or ladders because the game may not register it and so you'll just fall to your death. So quick saving is important for this mission. It's not my favorite, but I still appreciate the developers were trying to mix things up. Perhaps that's why this mission is pretty forgettable. Moving on.
The horn of Quintus, I presume.
After selling the horn, Garrett went to a merchant named Farkas and bought some new tools. However, this happens.
That shot was meant for me.
Yes, I'm sure there was Garrett in the window. He's dead. Let's head back now.
These creeps are gonna lead me right back to whoever sent them to kill me. But only if I can tail them without them noticing me.
I guess.
So Garrett follows them back.
So, these are Ramirez's boys. I think it's time I dealt with Mr. Ramirez once and for all.
With that, Garrett decides to steal from Ramirez. The interesting part of this story is you don't have to kill Ramirez, but in my playthrough he spotted me, so I had to kill him. On this mission, you can now use fire arrows. They shoot in a straight line and explode on impact. Keep in mind it does light you up, so it's easier for people to see you, and it lights torches up. There are also these flashbangs that stun everybody. Finally, the most important tools you now have access to is lockpicks. These help open most locked doors. You simply select one of them, hold your use button, and wait for it to unlock. If the sound stops, you switch to the other one. I will say this does add tension if you hear a guard is coming behind you and you think you're going to have just enough time to unlock the door. Now they don't unlock all doors, some still require a key or a switch to unlock. So the assassins appear and sound like they walk faster. I could have sworn in the Dark Project they had the same pace as any other NPC, so if anyone knows, please put in the comments. It's pretty cool to follow these assassins through the city, running from dark spot to dark spot, and waiting for them to keep moving after they turn around. They can take different routes, but it's not too long because it's over before you know it, and now it's like mission 1 again. However, the new thing to take into account is the alarm system. Guards can now run over to an alarm button on the wall and raise the alarm, so any guard that hears it will be on alert. This makes it impossible to knock them out. In my playthrough I had knocked out a bunch of guards. So I'm assuming a body was found because this guard came running past me. I think he's set to guard Ramirez when the alarm goes off. That's pretty cool because that makes things even more difficult. There's also these secret tunnels between the rooms. Overall, it's a good mission. Another one of my favorites. Garrett was looking to steal a prized sapphire vase from Lord Randall, but the Downwind Thieves Guild had already stolen it, so Garrett is going to steal it from them. He's going to need to sneak into their underground gambling den called the Overlord's Fancy below a restaurant. Once inside, he needs to find the secret entrance to their hideout, and hope he can find where they've hidden the vase. In this mission you get mines. Throw them out, and after a few seconds they activate, and when anyone, including yourself, walks near them, they explode. This is the first brand new mission, so I was really excited to get to play it. However, this mission is a love it or hate it. Most missions I was able to complete in about 30 minutes. This one was over an hour. Not because it's complicated, but it's a really big map, and there's information spread out to tell you where you need to go to get the key to run over to find the vault.
Now I can get my vase.
So the first time playing, I enjoyed it for the exploration and puzzle solving, but I'm worried about the replay value because it feels tedious. It was cool finding this hidden passage in the casino, even if the door didn't blend into the wall very well. Then get lost in the hideout and sewers, running around trying to find where I'm supposed to go. I try using the map as best I can, but I just run around enough till I've been everywhere at least once. The casino music is pretty cool. You run into two guards talking about your first mission.
Bafford was furious when he got back from his trip and found out his precious scepter had been swiped.
We didn't pull that job, did we?
You taffer, if we pulled a job on one of Ramirez's people, it would be war.
Well, who then?
Probably Garrett. He's the only one sly and foolish enough to pull a job like that.
Did you see something?
What's going on?
And this conversation at the start.
Hand of shadow, foot of air. Open the door, okay?
Well, now he hasn't given me the password.
Are you taffing me?
Overall, like I said before, it's a love it or hate it. Next mission is when the story really picks up. Garrett was contacted by a woman named Victoria, who has a client that was impressed with what he did back in Mission 4 with Ramirez. Garrett needs to steal a magical sword from a man named Constantine. This is one of my favorite missions, and I recommend playing it without quick saving. At first it appears to be like a typical mansion you're breaking into. I like the floor design. In the middle is a rug, so you can have a quiet place to walk on, but there are sometimes gaps that you have to jump, so don't mistime it, or you might hit the marble floor and make the most noise. Now as you ascend more into the mansion, things get weirder. There are rooms in different shapes, the ceiling is now the floor, there's this hallway made out of grass, the floor is missing in some spots. How about this optical illusion? It's a strange place. I think the developers had the most fun designing this mission. Oh, and traps. Like this one scared the crap out of me.
Hello? Anyone there?
This poor guard that got stuck, so I had to put him out of his misery. After grabbing the sword, I accidentally fell down. Promising I wouldn't quick save, I tried to find a way out. But ran into this guard, and just decided to run. This is when things get intense because guards are just as fast if not slightly faster than you. Like I said at the beginning, it's one of my favorites, and I enjoy replaying it every time. After the mission, a cutscene plays. In summary, Victoria introduces you to her client, who turns out to be Constantine. Turns out your last mission was a test. Now he wants you to collect a gemstone called the Eye. He even lets you keep the sword. All it does gameplay-wise is you're harder to spot by enemies when your sword is out. Also, during the cutscene, you might notice some plants growing around in this shot. And this one. Must be some kind of foreshadowing. Actually, I remember way back in the first mission, Victoria was mentioned in this note. The eye that Constantine wants is in an abandoned Hammerite cathedral. It's located in a part of the city that was deserted after a catastrophe. Something about hordes of zombies and raging fires. All Garrett needs to do is find a way into the cathedral and get the eye. Unfortunately, when you get there, the front door is locked and are magically sealed to contain the evil. You notice 4 statues on the sides with the symbols of the 4 elements. You run around back and look through an opening and can see the eye, and it starts to talk to you.
Comes a man to rescue me. Poor man. The keepers have sealed the door, and only they know how to open them. Cross you the bridge to the grotto of the keepers' sentinel. Stand you on the pedestal and illuminate the statue with fire. Then you discover the secret of the talisman.
It's pretty cool to wander through a destroyed city. It's got undead, lizards, spiders. There's also this ghost that shoots skulls at you, and this weird crab monster. Also, I found Burning Man, and he scared the crap out of me when I tried putting him out. The point of him is he respawns when you get far enough away, and will keep dropping fire arrows so you can light up the statue. In the Dark Project, he wasn't there, so if you used up all your fire arrows, you had to restart the whole mission. I did enjoy getting the riddle and piece it together.
Looks like this place was built by my old pals, the Keepers. I wonder what they're hiding in here.
What I don't like is having to find loot on this mission. It's scattered all over, and in tough to find places, or areas I didn't expect to find a little gem to be. I think this one should not have had the objective to steal a certain amount of loot. On normal, just keep it simple with the main objective. Eventually I found enough loot, which was in this dark area I could barely see. Overall, a good story set up for Act 2, with a pretty fun level to play on, and great job with the creepy horror feeling of the cathedral. I'm not looking forward to coming back and run through the inside of that place. Garrett starts off this quest with getting the Talisman of Earth. It's being held by a mage group called the Han Brotherhood. They reside in a compound with 4 towers for each element. The talisman is most likely going to be in the Earth Tower, but turns out there was an accident in the Water Tower, so they moved it to the Central Tower. So the towers hold the keys to another tower. So Garrett has to swim through the Water Tower to get the Earth Key, run around a maze to get the Air Key, then wait for elevators to take him up to the Fire Key, to run around and make lots of noise to get the Central Tower Key, where you finally grab the... Oh, okay. where you finally grab the... What? Alright, just reload, I guess. Okay, grab the... Are you serious? Please tell me it's this one. What the f***? This is so stupid. Maybe I missed something, but as far as I could tell, they all look the same. So your only option is to quick save and keep trying until you find the right one. Then escape through a sewer. So, this is the second brand new mission to play. It's fun, with its unique theme of the 4 elements.
Darkness shall overtake you.
In the central tower are normal guards with swords and bows.
What was that noise?
This mission took me over an hour to complete, and I'm not sure it's because it's a big map. It's just got a lot of enemies to deal with, and some simple gameplay mechanics that just take up your time. I think this needed some more work to speed things along or less enemies to deal with. Also, there's more creepy atmosphere. There are these statues that talk to you.
Do not let fear control your path, Garrett. Greed shall be your undoing, poor Garrett. Betrayal will force you to seek Garrett. Deception is your power, Garrett.
Sounds like some more foreshadowing. Overall, it's a decent mission. Next is the Talisman of Fire. All Garrett knows is it's in a lost city, somewhere underneath the current city. Well, this mission is back to feeling like Indiana Jones. In the Dark Project, the only enemies you had to worry about were the lizards and these fireballs. However, in the Gold version, they've now added the mages from the Mage Tower. Why? This doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to be a lost city. No one has been down there in so long. The keepers even locked the entrance. I guess people complained this was the worst mission, so the devs tried adding more enemies and hoped that would make it better. I disagree with this change. It takes away the mystery and isolation of this place. You feel alone down here until you run into the lizards, which is fine because they probably survive by eating rock or earth. The fireballs are magical guardians for the Talisman of Fire? Whatever the case. I know here I'm supposed to find a lever so it creates a bridge, but I just jumped to the other side. But how can I get back once I get the talisman? Easy! Use a speed potion. And you just need to do some more rope climbing till you find the Talisman of Fire. Then backtrack to this cave and it's done. So, I would say this is just another love it or hate it mission. Next is the Talisman of Water. The keepers put it in a shrine. However, when you check...
Empty. Now what?
Keep exploring and you find this guy.
Oh no, it's a big fish rather. Are you here to sing too? We'll reenact the memorable scene between Raoul and Valerius at the bridge. I'll begin. The city at night. Raoul, the handsome, young opera house owner, sings to the Lady Valerius. I, Raoul, do accuse you of using treachery to obtain your wealth.
He sings to you that the talisman was taken to the opera house. So Garrett makes his way there, steals it, and some extra loot. This is the final brand new mission, and it's pretty fun. You do have to do quite a bit of exploring. You can try your luck going through guards, or being stealthy and find the secret way to the talisman. I will say, I had to use quite a lot of moss arrows for all the marble floors everywhere. Since it is an opera house, you'll hear people practicing.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Also, I learned you have quite a bit of time to knock someone out even after they spot you.
Guards! Help someone!
There's also the stage that I'm wondering where the orchestra is.
It must have been rats. Repulsive.
I ended up finishing this pretty quick. It's not that hard of a mission, but I did enjoy its unique theme of an opera house and not just another mansion to break into. Oh, and I got spotted, so I made like a rabbit and hopped out of there. Like I said before, it can be fun and intense when you don't use saves during a mission and just have to figure things out on the fly. Then you'll have moments like these.
We'll teach him to mess with us! Get the cover!
Lastly, the Talisman of Air is being held in a Hammerite temple. Problem is the place is active day and night, so Garrett is going to disguise himself as a Hammerite novice. Once inside, learns how to get the Talisman of Air and gets out. This is my favorite mission out of all the Thief games. Here it mixes things up by allowing you to run around and not get attacked on sight, as long as you don't go into places you aren't supposed to be in, which is these red hammer symbols.
Thou should not be in the barracks, brother. Remember that novices are not permitted.
There are a lot of conversations that go on here, so you learn a bit more about the hammers.
Dylan saith the boy shall live, but may leave the order.
More foolishness. Fear never shows the true path, only the downslope to corruption. And see what our weakness hath gained us. Crime and sin reach to the very heights of the city.
People whistle really loud. It gets hard to listen to conversations.
On my betters, 'tis in the builder's hands.
'Tis true.
It takes a while, but eventually you learn the talisman is down in a vault. To open it, first you need to activate 5 switches within 5 minutes, otherwise they reset, and they are not easy to find. First one is behind this display case. Next is in the garden, which you really have to be looking in order to find it. I mean, come on. Third is in this grave spot. Fourth is in this torture room. And last is in this old kitchen downstairs. You hear the noise, so head on over to the vault. Then you need this hammer, which will extend the bridge. You flip this switch, opens the gate. Whoops, don't touch the talisman yet. Recite the hammer's prayer. Alarm goes off, so take the talisman and get out. So now everyone is on alert. To make it easier, I knocked out as many hammers before doing this.
Hello there.
There were some hammers still around, so I had to run in a circle to get through to the exit. Overall, this is still my favorite mission, and I love it. It's fun to finally be able to run around freely and decide when you want to start blowing your cover, or try to be stealthy the entire time, but good luck with that. Now that Garrett has all the talismans, he can enter the Cathedral. He just needs to get past all these undead. Obviously he does, and now he can just walk back out the way he came.
Leaving so soon? I think that would be too easy.
Now, how am I going to get out of here?
Of course that would have been too easy. So as Garrett goes out the back, he runs into this friendly ghost, although somehow I scared him.
Welcome to the majestic and splendid Hammer Cathedral. How pleasing to welcome new initiates into our fold. I am Brother Muris, and I will be thy spiritual guide.
You basically just have to do a bunch of tasks for him. Once that's done, he gives you a key to the armory, which has a bomb in it. This allows you to blow up the gate and escape.
Mistakes were made.
Apparently it wasn't close enough. There we go. I had a love-hate relationship with this mission. The first time I played it, I was too scared to play it. Eventually I mustered the courage to play it and beat it. I love this mission because it makes you feel scared. which I hate being in, but it does such a good job, I really enjoy getting through it. Since then, it's not as scary. I thought the red undead guards were immortal, but they aren't. They're like normal guards and can die by your sword. Actually, they're easier because holy water and flashbangs also damage them. Maybe that's why it's also scary, because you have a limited number of tools to use against the undead, but there's so many you don't have enough for them all. Overall, I think the devs did a great job with the atmosphere. I was really scared the first time, and I hope everyone has that same feeling on their first time. Alright, don't worry, we're almost done.
I can't tell you how pleased I am with you, Mr. Garrett. I simply can't find the words, but perhaps Victoria can help me in that regard. She has such a way with them.
Yes, we are both so very pleased.
Victoria.
So Garrett gives them the eye, and wants his money. But turns out Constantine is the trickster, a sort of god of nature and chaos. Victoria is a wood nymph, who can spread vines from her. Victoria restrains Garrett and steals his eye. They need his eye to empower the gemstone, the eye. Then the trickster creates a portal to his realm and both of them leave. Poor Garrett, he just wanted the money they offered. After being left to die, two keepers show up and break Garrett free. Of course, the weird part is they leave out through this door, but they lock it behind them. Thanks, guys! Wouldn't want to make this too easy for me! So all Garrett needs to do is escape. This mission is pretty fun. It's mostly the same map as Mission 5, with some more added on. The enemies you fight here are the pagans. They want the world to return to how it was before technology, where life relied on nature to survive. You got monkeys with swords, you got these bug things that spit bees at you, as well as spiders. Watch out for explosive frogs. This one will take you a while to explore, until you eventually find the way out. This level is unique because you don't have the store at the beginning to buy anything. Instead, you rely on finding gear that's just lying around, since you only start with your sword. Now this is where I first discovered gas arrows, but apparently you can get them earlier. It's pretty simple. They travel in a straight line, they explode, and they knock out any enemies in the area. Very handy. Overall, I do like this mission. It really feels like you barely survived a situation and managed to get out. However, for me, I hopped my way around looking really hard for the exit, while getting away from monkeys and explosive frogs. Damn! Almost made it. After escaping, Garrett thinks what to do next. He can't believe the trickster is real, and only the Hammerites believe he is. So Garrett decides to head back to the same temple from Mission 11 to try working with them. Unfortunately, as you make your way there, you find a trail of dead bodies.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You see, the temple looks like it was attacked.
What happened here? And where are all the Hammerites?
You do some exploring, and find that the Hammers went down a secret underground shelter. The pagans are down here too. Garrett sneaks around until he finds the Hammers.
Wake up, you maggot!
Ah, 'tis thee, the master thief. There is scant time to explain. The trickster's foul beasts have captured our high priest, and if we cannot retake him alive, all shall be lost. We lack thy skills of stealth and treachery, and our enemies must surely kill him should we.
So you sneak your way past the patrols and grab the Hammer leader and make your way back to them. At first I thought they were just going to reuse an old level and add just a little destruction, which would have been disappointing, but they didn't. Once you find the tunnel, it's a new environment. It's pretty intense in this area when you know you are outnumbered and need to be extra careful not to be seen. It is an interesting moment for Garrett's character that this isn't about money, it's about revenge for him. However, in the process, he's going to be saving the world. Overall, it's a decent level, but not much is going on. I think this is because they're trying to wrap up the story, so they didn't have time to add any more content. We're finally here. It's all led to this. The trickster is in his realm and gonna perform a ritual with the eye. The Hammers created a fake eye for Garrett to swap out the real one. It's not really explained how Garrett gets here. I just assume there's a portal somewhere in the real world to use to get to here. So Garrett descends further into this realm, until he eventually finds the trickster, who has already started his ritual. This is where the bug happens. He's supposed to be summoning the color green, but doesn't say anything. He moves over to the next color. Now he says his dialogue for the color green.
Leaves unfurl, thornsy spine, tumble wall, wreath in vine, cover all. Leaves mine, call the vine, call the green, brings thee forth, world be seen.
He walks back and forth summoning colors, but is always behind on one. It's annoying, but all you do is shoot some moss arrows to quietly sneak over and swap out the eye. Then just wait for him to finish the ritual, and he dies. This is the worst mission in Thief. I feel like this mission was quickly put together in order to conclude the story. It's a linear map, just keep moving forward and eventually you get to the trickster. It was so easy I decided to replay it on Expert just to see if it added anything new. It added more enemies, which is nice, and this extra objective. Just before you go to the trickster, you have to destroy this portal by using certain arrows on certain color smoke. Yeah, it doesn't add much. I'm sure the developers are disappointed in it as well. No final boss or complicated puzzle. Just wait for the boss to turn his back, take the eye, then go back into the shadows, wait a couple minutes for the final cutscene. Very anticlimactic. The final cutscene is about a member of the Keepers comes and talks to Garrett. They knew he would save the world. Everything that had happened was prophesized in text. Garrett doesn't care and has no interest in returning to the Keepers. The Keeper does try to tell Garrett about a book that he should read, but Garrett quickly tells him what he thinks.
Tell my friends that I don't need their secret book, or their glyph warnings, or their messengers. Tell them I'm through. Tell them it's over. Tell them Garrett is done.
I will tell them this. Nothing has changed. All is as it was written. The trickster is dead. Beware the dawn of the Metal Age.
Obviously a hint at the sequel the studio was already working on. I hope you enjoyed this long video. It was fun replaying this game after all these years, and it's still fun. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the video itself. I know I'm still an amateur at video editing, but I had a lot of fun creating this video. Any feedback will be great. Haven't decided if I'm going to jump straight into Thief 2, or maybe see what other game I would like to do a retrospective on. Leave a suggestion, and thank you again.